Hey everybody! Oh my God, I missed that music. It has been a minute, but your girl is back. Welcome to Sex Talk with Graye here on WEMS Radio. I missed you guys. I hope y'all miss me. I hope you are buckled up, fasten your seatbelts because we're going to have a fantastic show tonight. It is Three's a Crowd Tuesday. And I know y'all probably saying, well, hold on, T. Ain't nothing wrong when we bring an extra person in the bedroom, but that's not what we're talking about tonight, you guys. We're talking about when you're getting different signals, different messages sexually between your heart, your mind, and your body. And I got the perfect person to help me out with this tonight. Comedian, improv guy. You might have seen him on the internet blazing your timeline with these funny ass videos. Comedian Mo Hill is in the building. Come on in, Mo.
What's up, T? What's up, T? How are you?
I'm good. Look, I'm just blessed to get all this chocolate on the screen with me, boy.
Thank you.
They don't make them like that.
It's enough chocolate for everybody. So
listen, these chocolate for everybody. Niggas think they're making their way back in, but they're not.
No. We in forever.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Can't complain right now. Things are really good.
Oh, thank you for doing my show tonight. I absolutely appreciate it. And thank you for the laughs because I tell you, you keep me cracking up. I think the male perspective, one, because I'm a female, I think male perspective is always funny.
Right.
I think you do things in such a dynamic way. Just offering perspective, especially from three different points of view that most women, we don't really take into account a lot of what you put into your videos.
Yeah.
We don't really think about those things along those levels. So I absolutely am enjoying like I should have put one to play right now for the people, but they be all right. Boy, it more funny with a bunch of wives. So,
thank you.
Tonight is Three's a Crowd Tuesday. And so because of the type of videos you do, it gave me that idea to bring that perspective to light when it comes to sex, when you have your heart telling you one thing, your mind telling you something else, and your body, you know what I mean, sometimes being the one in charge.
Yeah.
When it comes to those three in sex, for you, which one weighs supreme?
It really is contingent on like the relationship. It really depends on the person. I mean, obviously, if it's a person that, we have a rapport, or if it's somebody I have history with, or somebody that, we have like a foundation or something like that, it's probably going to be more feelings than not. But like men are physical creatures. For the most part, it's typically physical. Women are more emotional creatures. So usually in the bedroom, most of the time, men think with one body part for the most part. But it would be false to say men don't have an emotional something towards certain people that they have sex with, depending on who that person is. So, if it's just like a hookup or just, John Doe or something like that, then it's probably just going to be less emotionless. But if it's somebody that we got history with, or that we've had a foundation with, or somebody that we really, really want from an emotional perspective, it's probably going to be the heart more. It's probably going to be, the heart is going to have some type of play in the situation more times than not.
Right. Yeah. Most definitely. So do you think the sex is better when your heart has a role in it? Or at the end of the day, it don't matter as long as it's good as good?
Man, that's a tough one. I think it's a matter of I think it depends on where you are in life. Like as a guy, like if you're in a place where you're like, all right, I'm a person, I don't really like to live by boundaries of like looking for things, but like if you're in a place where you like are in the mode of settling down and you're not really, playing the field as much as you used to, like internally, I think your heart probably is going to have a role, even though you're still going to be physical, your heart still has a role. But I don't know. I guess it depends on where you at in life. I think it depends on where you are in your career, your life, and how much you really want to settle down. So I think if you're in that place, your heart definitely plays a pretty good role.
Okay, so this is what I want to know, because we all go through this, I think, men and women, when we
Uh-huh.
meet somebody, okay, you see him, you know you want to get it, okay.
Yeah.
But depending on the situation, not even so much the person, the situation
Right.
surrounding it. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? You could be, well, yeah, she fine. You know what I mean? She got that fat ass on her. You know what I mean? You having that talk with yourself, but then you're like, nah, maybe we should just get to know her for a second. Because, what if she got crazy baby daddies? But then the dick be like, but nah, but her ass.
Right.
So what I would love to know is, I guess, some of your stories or some of your situations. Like, when have you been led by one or the other, and when did it turn out funny? Because I
When
feel like my cooch would get me into some funny situations. Not so much my brain on my heart, but my cooch will lead me down some shit that after the end of it, I'll be cracking up. So, have you ever been led by your loyal member, and it just ended up being just a funny situation?
oh man. Let me think, man. It's been a few times where things where when you say funny situation, like what do you mean by funny situation?
We're
Like,
talking funny sexual situation. So it doesn't even have to be a funny situation. Tell me about a time when you were led by your dick, and how did it turn out?
oh man, that's like 75% of the time,
Oh
to be
shit.
honest.
Okay.
But that's because but that's what I mean.
It's
That's
all the
because
time for real. I'm lowering my numbers, my girls.
but that's because we physical creatures, so a lot of time it does. But the other 15-20%, like that's where the emotions might come in. Cause like if it is really, really good, that's when dudes can get like there's like a spectrum of possessive or a spectrum of like how dudes get like they start getting like, okay, I'm sticking around
Nah,
here. And
no, how dudes get.
yeah, like certain girls, dudes are physical creatures, so it's like if there's a certain girl that do got the fat ass and her shit is just crazy and then she's bad, or if it's somebody you slip through the cracks with or something like that, like some dudes can get possessive, like because they don't want to give up that physical part more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I've definitely been led into some situations where like where like I don't want to say I don't even know if I can say it was funny, but like I've definitely been in some sticky situations where I was like, all right, I know I'm not supposed to be getting involved with this person, but like because of the sexual aspect of it, I still walk down that road anyway.
Right, right.
It's dark. You don't know where you're going. I'm
Not
feeling around for stuff
one.
like, but I'm still gonna walk anyway because it was that
Right,
good. Like
right. So, do
so
you think that it's to our detriment, as men and women, to be led by our bodies as opposed to our hearts or our minds?
it is because I think it's the generation. I think
Mm,
our generation lacks substance in a lot of ways to where we don't really know how to accept the um we don't know how to accept people's in-depthness. We don't know how to accept people for being beyond the surface because either A, people don't know how to be like have substance, or people don't know how to accept the substance. Like if you try to get too deep with somebody too quick, they get weirded out in our generation. So it's like he was telling me to, or she was telling me too much, or like, I don't feel comfortable being that personal. So it never really gets past a level in a lot of ways within our generation. So the first thing that we know how to do, just out of nature, we're sexual creatures, is lead
right.
with our, honorable members. You know what I'm saying? So that's the unfortunate part. That's why sometimes when you find those people that you can have intellectual stimulation with, those are the people that usually stick around and you're able to have those genuine relationships with. And sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't, but it at least helps you tap into yourself.
Mm. That's an interesting statement, though, what you ended with, that person being able to help you tap into yourself. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of times people discount sexual situations as something that does not take them to another level, but definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
Because your level of intimacy with that person, especially when it's a physical intimacy, can definitely elevate you or degrade or downplay your shit. Really,
Exactly.
really,
Yeah,
it really could.
it really could.
But people negate that fact that, if I'm pushed to my limits. If I'm taking higher than what I've been before, or if there's a moment of ecstasy, passion, sensuality, whatever the case may be, that is now, it could be transcending. It could be definitely almost some new shit. Next thing you know, bitch walking around with her pinky out for no reason, and you know what I mean? Got to make sure I use my salad forks because the dick was that good. You know,
Right.
I even got to plate my food different. Like it's, I'm different now. I'm paying my bills on time. Credit cleaned up. They could do that to you.
It can. Yeah, digmatization is a real thing. People thought I was just playing with that. That is a real thing.
It's real. It is real, but I think that most women won't admit that.
They won't.
Like the term pussy whipped has been around for what, since at least before I was born.
Centuries.
You know what I mean? That term has been around, and you'll see the guy whose nose is wide open, whatever the case may be. And now people call him a simp. You know what I mean? That's what they call him now. They call him a simp now. But is he really a simp? Is a woman really stigmatized because the sex is good? Like, I feel as if I'm getting good sex and then you treat me well, you know what I mean, and I have no worries, you know what I mean. Like if you feel the full package, and subsequently I make sure that you're taken care of in every single way, head to toe, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you need that you feel to be taken care of, I'm fulfilling that. I don't think that that's wrong. I
agree.
Think the dudes who quote unquote spoil these chicks, take care of these chicks, whatever the case may be, I feel like if you are fulfilling their need, they're fulfilling. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that makes you simple. I think that makes you the man that's getting some on the regular.
I think the term is more derived for people who aren't reciprocating the same energy. That's what I think it is. I think that's where the simping and the digmatizing comes in, is where it is deemed that the person is stepping outside of their normal boundaries of doing something, and the other person isn't reciprocating. So like if a dude is buying a girl X, Y, and Z gifts all the time, whatever, and she's doing the bare minimum or still playing the field, it could be deemed as simping. You know what I'm saying? Or same thing for a female. Like she could be digmatized because she just can't let the situation go, no matter how bad she might be treated, or even not even get treated bad. It's just not an energy going to a level that she's probably at, but it's all physical. You know what I'm saying? Like the person may not be providing her with the necessary intangibles of a relationship per se, but she ain't going nowhere because the dick is good. So, I mean, that's what I think. I think it's a matter of reciprocating energy is going to determine what that, because if you're two people that are giving each other the same energy, like it's mutual. Like, I mean, you wouldn't say I'm simping if you scratch my back and I'm scratching yours. Like, that's not really simping because it's, you know what I mean? So I think it's more about the mutual energy given back to each other is what determines, in my opinion, what determines that definition.
So let me go ahead and educate you while I drink my wine real quick. So we're going to pull out one of your videos, you guys. So for all of you who have never seen any of the videos that he puts together, not to mention he also does stand up, not to mention he's just fantastic at improv, but he brings a solid laugh and then also offers a different perspective. So for those of you who have not seen anything that he's ever done, we're going to pull up one of these joints, okay, right up off of his page and see how funny Mr. Mo Funny is.
I got a little tied up. Don't look like you was kidnapped during open heart surgery to me. The fuck was you tied up doing? No. Let him finish. Go ahead. I'm just saying, the boy came in here smelling like Chanel No. 5, looking real simple. And while I'm out here selling dreams, you out here slinging lazy ass dick. Dick ain't get us no benefits all summer. You just 1099 dick. Like, why couldn't you just be a W-2 dick? Like, I think you slick. We really need you. I know what you're doing. You think I know you want something. I'm waiting on you to tell me. I don't know. I ain't stupid. He might be stupid, but I ain't stupid. I know you got something going on. I swear you know everything. I know you got something up your sleeve. Yeah, I got an ass whooping up this sleeve. You keep fucking with me. I don't give a damn what you say. I've been watching you all summer. You've been acting real suspicious. Kiss my ass. Suspicious.
Bro, you're lame.
So in the background, you guys, some of you see
Don't look
on
like
the
you was kidnapped.
board, let's say fuck boy falls. Y'all listen on his way. So I would love to know, just in the background, what prompted this idea to make these videos with this perspective from the man's brain, the man's heart, and the man's penis, his dick, his eggplant. What brought that about?
So the story is I was actually in the middle of making another. So what I'm doing is called personification comedy. And just to give a brief history lesson, Richard Pryor originated personification comedy. Personification comedy is when you bring inept objects to life, like your liver, your heart, your spleen, and you give them personalities. So I was in the middle of actually thinking of a completely separate video, because at the time I think stimulus checks was a big thing on the internet. I was still making funny videos and still kind of finding my niche. And I was thinking of a personification video with stimulus checks. And I had just gone through, like, I won't call it a breakup, but I was kind of going through some stuff with a female that I had, we had kind of parted ways. And I was just like, that would be a funny video if I broke down like what I was kind of feeling in that moment. Obviously I exaggerated it a little bit, but that's how I kind of came up with the idea. But that's when my improv and creative side started to take over, where I kind of took different experiences indirectly and directly and kind of made them into different skits, just how the males think about things. And then the latest series that you're watching, I call it the Fuckboy series, Hot Boy Summer series. So the last string of videos have been all just like hot boy summer, fuck boy videos, which will eventually lead into, it's kind of like I'm leading it into a whole different thing. I'm not going to give it away yet, but it's a whole series. I didn't want it to be too random. It was based off of different experiences men experienced, but I also wanted to make it a continuing series so people can feel engaged and like, I want to know what's going to happen on the next episode, what they're going to do, who going to fuck it up next. You know what I mean? So that's what this current series is, but that's kind of how the idea came about though.
Okay, so it's a very, very interesting idea, especially when you jump into things that I feel we should take these things into account. Like, seriously, we should. Like, I feel like some women just be way too into their heads about stuff when the whole time dudes be on some bull. But then on the reverse, I feel like we should take into account that, hey, sometimes you guys are in your heads maybe just as much as we are, with that internal struggle on what to do, how to approach it, how to navigate it, how to win it, how to conquer it. Do I do this? You know what I mean? It is a constant between, your brain is always on. I ain't gonna say it's on some bull, but that's your conscience.
It is.
That's your, hey, we're gonna do this right.
Yeah, it's always neutral.
Your heart is always on some, let's not hurt everybody's feelings.
Right.
Everybody's,
Yeah, but the thing is like, one thing, at least with this series, that I always try to point out is your heart could also be your greatest enemy too. Because when your heart is on the good side, your heart is just like that. Like, hey, everybody, let's do good. Let's try to bring out the affectionate side. But when you're scorned or you're heartbroken or you're coming back from some bullshit, like, your heart is the one like, nah, fuck everybody. We out for blood.
We out here. We in these streets.
I don't care about nobody. I don't want it. And that's kind of what I'm depicting in this Hot Boy Summer series, is that your heart can also be that way. But at the end of the day, your heart is your heart. And your heart always goes back to, we're not born to hate. You don't born just hating shit. You're right. So your natural state of your heart is to love. We just have things that happen, but the heart always finds its way back some way or another. In some situation, it snaps it back into, oh, this is what the heart is supposed to be doing. So that's kind of what I depict. I try to be clever and bring some reality and psychological stuff into my skits as well.
So in between the brain, the heart, the dick, which one do you think pussy has more control over? Is pussy stronger than the brain, stronger than the heart, or stronger than the dick? Ooh. If it's WWE, pussy coming up off them ropes, you know what I mean? Who is pussy taking down?
I think that, here's my personal opinion. I feel like I feel like there's a lot of variables, but I'm gonna give a generalized statement. Let's say you have really good pussy versus really good dick. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun
Yes.
dun dun. The outliers is gonna be the brain and the heart. Because if I got good dick, you got good pussy, like we neck and neck. So these two cancel each other out.
Mm-hmm.
I think what ends up happening is, obviously, to me, the male brain can be very neutral. The male brain is the one who comes up with the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Which way that idea goes is contingent on the heart or the dick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where the variable of the person comes into play, of that female. So I think if her vagina is if her pussy is so good and she's like a dope ass person,
Mm-hmm.
heart, it's immediately heart. Like, it's a wrap. Heart, it's a wrap. If she's like somebody you like being around, or somebody that you got some kind of connection with, heart, it's a wrap. If she's just good pussy, and I mean, I'm sure we've all been in situations where you'd be like, I'll fuck them, but I would never date them. I'm sure we've all been in situations where it's like, you can tell the energy sometimes when somebody overstaying their welcome after you do whatever you do. It's like, what you about to do? I got, you start yawning.
Yeah,
And that's what, exactly.
Yeah,
I got, what you doing tomorrow?
That's what I tell people. I say thank you.
That's the cue to get out of there. But that's when the brain starts to kick in. I think that's where the brain is like, all right, we good. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no emotion there. There's nothing else to have. And that's when the brain kicks in. It's like, all right, we good. We all right. Everybody good. We cool. All right. And then they all go about their way. So I think it depends on the person.
Okay.
After that. Yeah.
Okay. So let me go ahead and flip that. I think pussy hands down will snatch a nigga's heart out their body, stomp on him.
Oh, for sure.
I think pussy hands down, your brain could be like, no. And that junk be like, but I'm hot, I'm wet, I'm tight, I squirt. And your brain be like, nah.
You're right. It do happen that way sometimes. I just think it happens even quicker if the girl is like, whatever she like, if she's like just like dope or whatever the case might be. But yeah, I mean, I would say I'd say like 40% of the personality and 60% of the pussy, which is enough to snatch somebody's heart out and do whatever you want with it.
Which is enough to be
That's
like,
enough.
get over here.
Exactly.
Just throw that shit on the ground. That's terrible. So, what is most important about sex to you?
Chemistry.
Okay.
Chemistry. I feel like it don't matter how many positions you do. You can do one position. When you got fire sexual chemistry with somebody, it won't matter. Like, it's just going to be a fire experience. Like, you know what I mean? It's not going to be like, yeah, it can be awkward. The rhythm will be right. Like, everything will just fall in place if you got the right chemistry.
That's very true. When the chemistry is off,
it's not good.
It's not good.
No matter how good they look, if the chemistry is bad,
yeah,
it docks some points off. Yeah.
But you said something though that I think a lot of people discount as well, is when it is good, when the chemistry is there, you don't have to have a whole lot going on.
No,
you gotta be flipping people over, pulling their hair out. It ain't gotta be no, you know what I mean, no free for all. You could just get right in that good spot.
Yeah, and stay there. And it's fire.
Boy, and ride that spot on. You know what I mean? Because it's who it's with.
Exactly.
It's so, you know what I mean? Yeah. But sexual chemistry is something that not every two people have.
Facts.
And then a lot of people get into the phase of forcing it. Sexual chemistry is not something that can be forced.
No.
It's not something that you can create. It doesn't come out of a lab, you guys. There is no for real. You know, in a gas station in the world, I'll tell y'all, that's still appeal for sexual chemistry.
Right.
And so the notion sometimes is that as long as for men, it could be, you know, as long as I last and I'm hard, or it's going to be great. Not necessarily. For women, it's, you know, as long as it's wet and it's tight, it's gonna be good. necessarily, that doesn't mean that you're the right fit for that person.
Right.
And when you get into these situations, of course, I do believe that, if first time out the gate, you should give a person to kind of get it right, give them an opportunity. But the reality of it is, when you all see that the sexual chemistry is not there, or it's off, it's okay to throw in the sexual towel. It's okay to step away from that situation. I know a lot of people would say, okay, with T Graye, you're being a little bit shallow, or how dare you, leave a situation if the person is fantastic, but you're not going to stay for bad sex. No, I'm not going to stay.
I agree with that. I 1000% agree with that. I feel like sexual chemistry in a relationship is important. I feel like, to me at least, it's very important, because that's another way for us to connect, because you got to think, we're human. And if we're able to always connect in that area, and we're not connecting in other areas just by default, because relationships are relationships, I feel like, not to say that it's a glue or end all be all, it's still a sanctuary. It's still a place to go when you want to rekindle something, or in general, it can be something that's like, I don't know. I just feel like if the sex is bad, I feel like that's so much of a large part of the relationship. It'll be hard to desire that person beyond the personality, right? Like, because you don't get personality 24/7. You know what I mean? Like, there's other aspects of the relationship that I like to feel in order to feel connected to somebody, and that's a part of it. So I agree. It would be hard for me to be in a relationship with with no sexual chemistry.
Right. So, have you ever been in that situation before?
I have. I have.
How did you handle it? Like, what was your immediate reaction, and then what was your later long-term reaction?
Uh, I was disappointed because, well, with this particular person, it was an on and off situation where we were kind of talking on and off for a long time. We were on and off for some years. And when I mean on and off, it was like, we would talk for a little while. And at the time, we both had really busy schedules. So like, we would hang out, but it would just be like cool hangout. We would get to hang out as much. So that's what kind of prolonged it as well. And then, that would go on, and we would stop talking for a little bit because like we just wasn't meshing from a schedule perspective and being able to see each other as much. We would kind of go off and do our own thing, and then we'll find ourselves back. So it was clear that we clearly had an attraction and a connection to each other. And this went on for a long time. And then finally we did it, and the sexual chemistry just wasn't there. I think it was a matter of just inexperience. And in the moment, obviously, once I figured it out, like in the moment, I was like, okay, like, let's just get through it. And it did throw me off. It definitely threw me off. One, because of the situation. It taken so long to get to that point. And when you got all that hype built up and expectation and all this attraction, y'all been coming back and forth. You're like, oh, the bedroom is like the icing on the cake. Like, this is about to be it, and for it not to be was like a huge letdown. So that kind of added insult to injury and made it worse than it really was. And me and that person, I mean, we ended up not talking long after that. But yeah, I think, and this was a while ago. I think I handled it, at least to me, the best way I could, because I knew I couldn't keep the situation going, knowing what I knew at that point. Like, we just didn't have chemistry in that area, and that's important to me.
So, just listening to some of the things you share, you do seem to kind of be more of a led by your heart kind of dude. Is that how you are? Is that how? I mean,
sometimes. I mean, I can be. I'm very good. I like to say I am. I can be in a chameleon in some aspects, where it really just depends on where I'm at in my life in that moment. Like right now, I'm genuinely busy with comedy, between making content, doing stand-up, traveling for shows. I have a daughter. I still have a very good day job. Like, so I'm a very busy person. So right now, like, my heart is just kind of occupied. So I'm not as heart-led right now. Whereas maybe 6-8 months ago, I had time to be heart-led, so I could kind of think and decipher, and my I just had time to think and worry about that kind of stuff. So it might have been a little different. So it really just depends. Early 20s, not even close. May have had some instances, but like, So it just depends on where I'm at in my life in
Would
that
you mind
moment.
me asking how old
Yeah.
are you?
How do I look?
Nigga, come for
I'm
that
just
black on
playing.
crack question.
I'm just playing.
Nigga, we look at 25, you be 50. I
I
don't
know,
know.
right? I'm
I can't.
31.
Okay, so I would have gave you about round there.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I would
good.
I would have said about between 28 and 32. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
31. I'll be 32 in a
So
month.
in a month. Okay, so
Mhm.
do you feel like sex has really changed for you going into your 30s? Like, do you feel like you're on a new plane?
Has sex changed for me? Absolutely. Uh, I think sex has changed for me where I think now at this stage in my life, I think I want to say within the last like year and a half or so, I've been very conscious about trying to have more intellectual relationships because I'm an
Mm,
intellectual person. I like having intellectual
okay.
conversations. I'm very stimulated by intellectual conversations and like just smart women in general. Just like I love having that kind of dynamic.
Oh,
So
sexual.
yeah, I do. I do. I like that. But I've tapped into it more. I've always been a very intuitive, introspective person, but like it was very dormant in my early and mid 20s because I just was whatever.
Right, you was
But
20s, yes.
yeah, exactly. Whereas
Right.
now, because my time is so limited, and I do still need that connection or interaction with women, I when I do have that time, I don't want to waste it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Because I'm
mhm.
now it affects me to where like, man, I don't want to feel like I'm not getting nothing out of a relationship with somebody. So I'm very conscious about having those type of relationships with people that I do interact or engage myself with at this point. So when I do have sex with somebody that I am connected to like that, it makes a big difference in how that sexual experience goes. That makes sense.
It makes sense. That's a little proactive, productive sex, is what it sounds like to me.
It
It
is.
sounds like that's the phase of life that you slid right into. Like,
Right.
how is this sex going to help me to be productive and proactive on my next move? I get
Yeah.
it. I do. I
Hmm.
do. Your 30s definitely do that. Like, especially if you are a grinder. Um,
Yes.
so I know a lot of different types of people listen to this show, watch this
Hmm.
show. So you guys, when I say when you're a grinder and it changes how sex is for you, I know y'all probably like, fuck you talking about T, but this is what it is. When people are focused and driven and it's a goal in mind, and I say this because I'm a grinder. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I got 3 babies, 2 of whom are in college, full-time job, 3 shows. And it's like all day,
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
When it comes to being on air, when it comes to being behind the mic, and then you making content, then you making promos, and then you still got to
Hmm.
get up and go to work, and you still got to be mom or dad. Like, the sex, granted, you guys, is supposed to be fun. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be my let my hair down and go in and grab these locks and get into it. But if that sex ain't about to really help me build this brand, I'm just saying, if it's not gonna put me in a better mental place for me to continue to build the brand,
Yeah.
like nah, like I know it sounds a little crazy, but I know that the nut is supposed to be the end goal. But I need this nut to be a productive nut. Like I need this nut to matter. I feel like I don't just want to waste orgasms either. Like, I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste orgasms. Why am I going to be squirting all over the place if it's not about to help me? I got shit to do. Like,
Right.
I don't sleep as much as I would love. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Right.
do, because I'm grinding, I'm always on the move. I don't do the things that most other people find relaxing, whatever. I don't do that. So
Hmm.
if I'm about to get it, yo, this getting it better be worth it. If you about
Right.
to take me away from doing my show, if I'm not making content, if I'm not running the promo, if I'm not on the phone booking shows, guess what? This sex better be the best damn sex in the whole wide world right now. Because
Yeah.
if it ain't, if it's not helping the bruh, I'll be
Yeah.
mad. I'll be mad as a mother.
I
And don't let
definitely
it
feel
be
that.
bad. And don't let it be
Oh,
bad.
yeah. You can't save their phone number no more after that.
Yeah, when you out here building a brand and somebody give you some trash sex, I just want y'all to know that it's the worst thing in the world you could ever do to somebody who's grinding in their purpose.
Right.
It is, because we don't get it as much as we want. That's just truth
Mm-hmm.
be told. People probably say, I got comedians on here all the time, and I have comedians in all phases of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people think, comedians is out here hoeing all the time, and some of them are. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but when you got 3 shows Friday, 3 shows Saturday,
Yeah.
2 shows Sunday, you might have had a show on Thursday. I'm gonna be tired. Ain't nobody got time.
Man,
Ain't
listen.
nobody got time to really be
Man.
out here fucking for real. So if I make the time and you give me some trash,
Yeah, that's the
boy,
worst. Yeah,
boy, that's why
it's
I
a
say fucking with what I say, with a purpose and
yeah.
productivity. It better be okay.
No, that's very true. Yeah, a lot of comedians are extremely busy, especially if you're doing a weekend somewhere. You got 3 shows Thursday, 3 shows Friday, Saturday, and
Man,
Sunday,
let me tell you.
and then on top of that, you gotta by the time you get off your last show, it's late. And just being a comedian in general, everything is late for you. Even if I'm only doing, like, right now, I'm not in the stage where I'm doing 4 and 5 shows or 3 or 4 shows a night. But even nights that I do have shows, like most comedy shows, don't start till 8, 9 o'clock at night. Then by the time you get off stage, mingle with people, it's already sometimes 10, 11 o'clock at night, sometimes later. By the time you done mingling with comedians, whatever, at the stage, it's late. And then you might go out. So, and then getting off stage, to be honest, it could be exhausting depending on how much time you did. You know what I mean? It could be exhausting. So that's very true. I think a lot of comedians are definitely honest when they say, yo, I'm tired. I don't got it in me no more.
Just public service announcements to all you men and women out there who think y'all about to just get y'all some after the show. Y'all either make it be the best that person has ever had, or just go on, sit down somewhere. Just go on,
Please let it be the best I ever had. Please.
or just go on, sit down.
Listen to T. Make it the best. Give me your best
I
performance,
mean,
please.
seriously, because people who are grinding, we tired. We tired.
It is.
I
It's
mean,
very
I need to
tiring.
be amazing, or just don't, just nah,
Right.
just nah. That's so selfish of me. I know we got off topic, you guys. We got off topic. We started having a regular conversation, like we sitting talking on telephone for a minute. So we are here, you guys, on Sex Talk with T Graye, WEMS Radio. I got Mo Hill in the building. Y'all, we in here chilling. Clearly, he drinking wine. I'm half asleep. We have a good time down. And it is Three's a Crowd Tuesday. So we were talking initially about the difference between being led sexually by your brain, your heart, your body. But Three's a Crowd can also refer to having one too many or just enough people in the bedroom. Our menage a trois is a thing of the past. Are bringing extra people into the bedroom no longer something that's taboo and fun and kinky to do? Is it just non-existent? So, oh, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened.
Listen,
I don't know. I had no idea.
okay, we was right here. We both in here dressed like Kool-Aid. We was right
Right.
here. Okay, for a hot second. So I went into talking about actually having threesomes and are they a thing of the past? I know moving the sexual barometer, things always come in as being hot and cold. And so there's something that you hear people talk about that's, fun, fascinating, whatever the case. And so at one point, because it's three, it's a crowd, we're talking about having 3 or more people in the bedroom.
Yeah.
At one point, that was like the thing to do. And now it seems like, talking about those things or people engaging in those acts is kind of fizzled out. Has that been something that you've ever experienced? Have you had a threesome, bruh?
I have. I've had threesomes before. I
You're
don't
gonna
think
have
that's.
more in the 30s.
I don't know. I don't know. Depends on who my partner is going to be or if it comes about. But I don't think it's a thing of the past at all. I think it's probably more common and accepted now. Just with our generation being a lot more open in general. poly in our generation is like becoming a thing.
Normal, yeah.
Yeah, it's becoming more normal, whereas at one point that was very taboo. So I think it's a common thing. But I've had threesomes before. Yeah.
How was it?
Of course they were fun. I know friends who have had them and they have very awkward experiences just because it really is it's back to a chemistry thing. If you don't have the right people in the mix, it could be very bad. If you're not good at, I don't know, if you're the person facilitating and figuring out the right personalities to bring in the bedroom at one time, it can get weird real fast because sometimes people aren't as comfortable sexually as others and so on and so forth. But I think they're fun personally. Especially if it's with people that like and you like got like some type of rapport with, like it could be fun. Yeah.
Okay, you have to hold on for just a moment because my laptop. Gotta put this on pause, you guys. I hate to put this on pause while I'm live, but I'm in my mama's house and stuff work different in my mama's house. Oh, I can't even blame it on my mama's house. I gotta blame that on me. I ain't even pressed the button for the shit to work. This is what happens when you don't do your show for 3-4 weeks. This is what happens, you guys. When you come back in, T. Graye ain't even know how to work the surge protector because all it was a button. Laptop about to die because my ass ain't pressed the button. It's all right though. It's all right though. If I had to come back in to my show,
Hold your dumb. Watch out for the cat. Shuck and move. Ow. You shuck and got stuck. Now I gotta figure out where we going on the second date. I guess cuffing season started early. I thought I was. Thanks for nothing. But I hope she ain't late. What happened? You got knocked the fuck out. Stupid ass boy. Now look at you, boo boo the fool, laying there looking like a broke dick dog. I should smack your ass back to sleep. And guess what? What? I was hoping this happened anyway. It's hot as shit in this coat, and I like being a sandwich. No, no. You still got your coat on. Okay. I didn't lose my mind.
So you guys, that was definitely an example of when the dick got took out. Took out.
Got knocked out, man. Or did he? Oh,
He tried to play like my boy was dreaming, but man down. What it is. Man down. So, in the grand scheme of, I guess, just having fantastic sex, have you been knocked out like that, bro? Have you had to wave the white flag before?
I've had to wave the white flag before. I have.
Can you tell us about it? Look, give us no names.
Well, of course. I'm usually pretty in tune and in control of my emotions for the most part. I'm very self-intuitive, but there was a couple times, definitely there's one particular time in college where, and this was like early in my, sexual career, where, this was my first time experiencing a squirter. And I think I was so mesmerized by it because you only see that in like porn and stuff. Like at the time I was like, that ain't real. That's only, that's only in porn or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then I experienced it for the first time and I was just like, I gotta do it again. It was one of those situations where like, I was just like I was infatuated with that idea. And this person it was just like always. So I was just like, just mesmerized, and she was the worst, like the absolute worst. I might have been a sophomore in college or something like that, and she was a sophomore too. So like we both young, and she was doing her thing, and I would get salty about it because I always wanted to hang out, and like she had me stir crazy for like a little less than a quarter. After the
A little less than
a quarter, but it was a rough. I got my little feelings hurt a couple times.
So do squirters still have that same power over you?
I mean, not anymore because I've seen it before. You know what I mean? Like, it's happened more than one time to where I'm not like, it's still like cool. Like, don't get me wrong. It's still a cool thing to happen, but I'm not like shell shocked by it when it happens. You know what I mean? It's not something that I'll
so you just ain't met the right one. That's
maybe,
what it sounds like to
I don't know.
me.
It's still cool.
Ladies Blue Hill said ain't nobody taking them down, y'all.
I don't know. It's
kind
of hard. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to knock me down now.
You know, put your white flag in the bottom drawer in the back. I ain't never bringing it back out.
Oh yeah, it's way down somewhere in yonder. Like, okay, it's gonna be hard to get me now.
You know what though? I'm not ashamed to say that I've had to wave the flag. You know what I'm saying? I've had to tap out. Like, look, I can't take no more. I don't got no more. Like, I'm bottomed out. There's nothing else that could possibly come out of here. Like,
that's crazy. Most women will go to the end and ride it out and will not take that L. I don't know what it is. We know y'all taking the L. Y'all just won't say y'all taking the L. It's okay. Your body is screaming, "We lost," but your mouth is like, we can still keep going.
Let me tell you, I am not that proud. So I'm not, especially not as I get older. Like, I just feel like, look, if it was bomb now, I am one of those women who can come in multiple ways. And I love to have multiple types of things happen while I'm having sex. So okay, I'm multi-orgasmic. I come a bunch of times, I squirt a bunch of times, especially if I'm, have the right partner, smoke the right drugs. Anyway, if I'm bottomed out and if I don't have nothing left, I don't have no problem taking the L. Like, what you not about to do is chafe my insides. Like, we not about to, because it's like, once you don't have anything left, there's no more lubrication. So after that, you just
some women take that personally internally though, because they pride themselves on having this great pussy, and then when a dude is lasting longer, they start getting in their head like, what's wrong? Is it me? Like, I got this, it can't be my fault. So he, you know what I mean? So like they have an ego, and that pride tap in, and
man, I've been there.
It's a rough next day if you messing with the right one.
So I am not discounting it. I have not at all. I've always had a super big ego, and I do believe that, especially when it comes to the bedroom, women have way bigger egos than men. And I get into arguments with other men about this because they're like, nah, it's the man's job to put it down, and all y'all got to do is lay there. I'm like, nah, nigga, bitches, you fuck, all they got to do is lay there. I put in some motherfucking work, and I want to see the spoils of my work. Like, I want to see you bust. I want it all over the goddamn place.
Yeah.
But this is where I'm okay. That's why I say maybe it's an age thing, because I'm okay now to take the L. I'm okay now to be like, you know what, that's enough. I you know what I mean? But on the end of it, it's 9 times out of 10 because the sex was good. You know what I mean?
Right.
The sex is horrible. I'm about it in 5 minutes. This was a bad idea. We shouldn't do this. You know what I mean? You have a nice day.
Right.
And thank you for your time. But if it is good, and all these explosions are happening, I'm shaking, I'm going convulsing, whatever, got the shit all over the place, it done hit the mirror behind me. Nah, nigga, I'm done. No, I'm done. And just because y'all took whatever it is y'all take and want to keep going for 4 or 5 hours, I don't got 4 or 5 hours. I don't got 4 or 5 hours in me. I'm just going to keep it. I don't.
4 or 5 hours. I
don't. But I wholeheartedly
psychotic.
Get the ego part, because a lot of men think that women don't want to see an end result like a man wants to see an end result. You know what I mean? Men want to hear you screaming in their ear, and they want to feel you throbbing, and feel you, squeezing on their dick, and this, that, and the third. I get it. But women, we want those same things too. Like, I want to feel that strong vein busting out when you about to bust. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to, see the indentation on your chest when you can't breathe. Because I fucking make you suck. I love it. But at the same time, I think that we definitely got to learn to put ego to the side. It's harder when you're younger.
Very much so, because you're still learning about yourself.
Right, it's harder, of course, but it's definitely something that as we get older, we learn how to conquer that, and we learn how to get better with that, and just be honest and be like, "Look, I'm done.
We out.
I'm done. I don't have nothing left. Like, whatever it is you want, what I need is a 20-minute nap and about 40 ounces of water, and we can do this again." But but right now, especially if it was good, right now, I'm done, bro. I'm done.
I definitely would agree with you. I think it's definitely an age and maturity thing, because when you're younger, you're trying to you're still trying to find yourself, but you're also trying to prove a point. You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to prove yourself. You know what I mean?
What's the and I'm glad that I am older having this conversation. What is the point once it doesn't feel good anymore? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Now, I'm going to say this. So, for me, I'm a chick who gets pretty wet. Okay? I'm not going to run no stats on you. But I'm just going to say that the Jones is hot. But, again, once I'm bottomed out, once I don't have anything left, okay, I'm not wet anymore. Okay? And then, so most men still want to fuck. I'm like, hey, I know you feel that, because I can feel that it's uncomfortable. Okay?
Yeah.
It has to be uncomfortable to the man. So I've had previous partner go get some ice. For some reason, ice works. If y'all didn't know that. If you put a little ice down that jump, let the girl cool off, it get right back. It get right back like that in about 3 minutes, maybe even less. Just take that, write that down. But if somebody, doesn't know these tricks of the trade, like, to me, it seems like a man would say also, hey, this doesn't feel good anymore. Like, what is that? Why do y'all keep fucking once it's not fuckable anymore? That's what I call it. It's not fuckable anymore.
I can't speak for everybody else. I know me. Like, when you tap out, I mean, I'm not gonna keep going, because then I'll start, like, I don't want it to be unpleasurable at that point. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty good at reading body language, because I'll usually ask. I'll ask in certain moments, because sometimes women are prideful, they don't say anything initially. But I always make sure I ask if I start to see the body language change. And if you're experienced enough, you can tell when stuff's starting to get a little uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I mean, and even then, even if to me, it might feel a certain way, but to you, it doesn't, I'll stop. Like, I don't want to keep going, because if you're not enjoying it, I'm not enjoying it. And that's what I pride myself on, is you enjoying it. I'm not selfish enough to be like, all right, it's all about me. I got to wait till I come. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make sure the person feels good. So I stop. I don't like to keep going, because then the other part to that, to me, is it's like live to die another day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like we can't do it again once you get it together down there, and we can go back in a couple hours, an hour, or tomorrow, whatever the case might be. It ain't going nowhere. We can just run it back. Like, no need to kill it all in one day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but some people are greedy like that. Some men are definitely selfish and greedy like that. But I'm personally not like that. When you tap out, and then I can feel it. If it's not lubricated like that, to be honest, like, physically, aside from like a pride thing, physically as a man, it does not feel good.
It doesn't.
It doesn't feel good. So I'm gonna stop anyway.
Yo, that's my point. But it's like, dudes just don't. And so I hear you say, the women got the ego. They want to keep going.
Men got egos too.
Everybody who ego is bigger than that is stupid. Because what you not fit to do is break the skin on my pussy.
But some men,
like, nah.
It becomes a ego booster at another point, because now your pleasure is 1,000% in their control, where it was like only partially in their control. So at that point, it's like, now I'm beating the pussy up. Now I'm the one that's sick.
But here's the thing. if my pleasure is now in your control, yet I'm not yielding any pleasure, somebody needs to be fired from their job.
Facts. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Right?
I agree whatever the
Something's
consequences should
right.
be.
Something's not right here. The matchup is off.
It-
Um,
It's just that some men don't care.
yeah, yeah,
Some
I
men,
get that.
some men are men. They just don't.
Some women don't too. Yeah, I feel bad for
Yeah.
all of them as a group. So
Right.
even with threes a crowd, you guys, it's cool to have some extra lube in the bedroom.
Nothing
Okay.
wrong with that.
Keep an ice bucket if you was a hot. I'm just telling you that right now. If you one of them women who got that hot twat and you done bust about 20 times, go ahead and slide a little ice down there. It works. It works.
Oh, somebody getting the ice bucket right now.
Hey,
You can hear her. I can hear the freezers in the background.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
I'm speaking from experience. I know it works.
Somebody ice machine barely working right now. Yeah.
You got to be at the hotel.
Right.
Because house ice cubes, they too big. It's not.
Yeah. That ain't
Unless you got the one shaped like a half moon. I'm just not that I know, but I've done the science on it.
Yeah, you've heard around.
Did the math.
Yeah,
I did the math. But the ice, it can't be that hospital ice.
No,
not
you're
those.
gonna end up in the hospital.
That's those, but them Jones that be at the hotel in the ice bucket. They the perfect size and just
right.
So, you guys, we have covered a lot of different things today. I feel like, did you have a good time?
I had a great time. This was an awesome conversation. I enjoyed being here. I enjoyed the conversation and the questions. This was dope.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm mad that you had wine and I didn't. It's okay. It's okay. So, you guys, this has been Three's a Crowd Tuesday. Okay, now we're going to recap because I don't want you all to miss out on the thing. We talked about the difference between your heart, your mind, and your body and what that means for you sexually. Be wise in who you choose to listen to. Okay, let's take that piece home with you. Be wise in who you choose to listen to. Whether you choose to listen to your heart, your mind, or your body, all of those things can possibly lead you to some really great sex or really painful STD. So be mindful in which one you choose and in making these decisions. I know that a lot of people say, well, being led by one or the other, it may fall in line with their lifestyle, may fall in line with how they were raised, may fall in line with whatever. Sometimes you have to come out of your comfort zone to then make some of the best decisions. A lot of times your heart will have you in positions with a person who is not the right person for you, but because you care, because you feel you'll stay. Sometimes your body will say, well, keep having sex with this person. And that is not the right situation. So any of these things can fall in any of these categories. The goal is, I think, in justice to have all of them in line, have all of them on the same page. And if you're ever in a situation where one is leading more so than the other and the third is not listening, that should be a red flag.
Right.
In my personal opinion, that should be a red flag. If all those things are not in line, in tune, that should be a red flag. We talked about having threesomes. They are not a thing of the past, you guys. They are a thing of normalcy. Polygamy and other lifestyles are the new norm. So don't be caught off guard if you're now approached by husbands and wives and girlfriends and everybody want to get you home. That is no longer taboo. That is normal. So now I would love to see what the next taboo thing is. I want to see what the next exciting thing is. T. Graye has yet to have a threesome in her life, you guys. Always wanted one.
Missing
Never
out.
had one.
In due time.
Oh, maybe my next birthday. I don't know. But I'm a little bit selfish, and I know that about myself.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
a
not for
real
everybody. They're not for everybody.
They are not for everybody. Here's the one thing: if you are entering into those situations, be mindful of the rules. One, I think you should go into those situations, have some clear cut rules. When the rules get broken, you guys, especially in social media, especially people who might be on the comedy world, we've seen over the pandemic what happens when those rules get broken and things get out of hand. So when you're going into these relationships or these situationships or these threesomes, these sex parties, these whatever, when you allow other people into your relationship and into your bedroom, you definitely have to have some clear cut rules that you operate by and be strong enough on both ends, the man, the woman, the third person, whomever, be strong enough to handle that situation. If you're not strong enough to handle that situation, stay your black punk ass up out of it.
Right.
Call a spade a spade. Okay. We talked about egos, you guys, and the effect that they play in the bedroom and the decision making, especially on the back end of the decision making. When you've tapped out, tap the fuck out. Don't let your ego be that third person in the bedroom. Like, keep going, keep going. Nah. That's how you bitches end up with urinary tract infections. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Remember that little gas you got on your dick? I said, don't do it. It's not worth it. Like, you don't gotta man up every time, girl. You don't gotta man up every time, dude. You don't gotta keep beating it up. It's okay. My man said the pussy not going nowhere. You can get it later. It can take a break. Get up, get
Take
it
a
in
break.
the room. Hey,
Go vacuum or something.
That, to me, for real, is if you're with me, your ego should be on 1,000. If I've tapped out, if you've really gotten T Graye to bottom out and I ain't got nothing left, yo, that's a win. That's a win. You got the belt, put it on your waist, walk around, crip walk with your dick swinging, with your because it takes a lot to get there. But if you get there, it's okay to allow your ego to leave the bedroom. And so if you're not taking an L, if I've gotten everything out of me that I can, I won like a motherfucker to.
All right.
Don't look at it like that. Leave your ego out of the bedroom. So I think I've recapped everything for Three's a Crowd Tuesday. I got Mo Hill with the chocolate with dimples. It's already Three's a Crowd happening on the screen. You all check him out at Mo Funny, MOFUNNY. Right? It's
Three Y's. Yeah.
Yes.
Mo Funny with 3 Y's.
Check him out, Mo Funny with 3 Y's. And what state are you in, Mo?
I'm in Ohio. I'm based out of Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You up there where the funnies are. You up there where the funnies are.
Who's the funnies?
Friends of mine that I know that are real funny.
Oh, okay.
Friends of mine that I know that are real funny. Ohio's a good state for
it is.
We got a lot of good comedians.
Yeah, we do. We got a lot of good comedians coming out of Columbus right now. Myself, Jason Banks, Bobby Dodds, Kenny Mock. We got some Instagram people, Damon Marling, Adam Little. A lot of comedians. I know I'm missing some few. Rob Ward. There's some big time comedians.
Rob Ward is hilarious. I didn't even know he was from Ohio, but
he's from Cleveland.
He's funny. He's
from Cleveland.
But yeah, it's a lot of dope.
Yeah, it's a lot of funny people up here.
Yeah, most definitely. But you all make sure that you do check him out, support him. If you're in Ohio, go ahead and hit them stages, catch my boy do his thing. Make sure that you add to these 50,000, 100,000, however many thousand millions of views that he has, because he is absolutely funny. Definitely a change in the perspective for what women can see from men, for when men can really find funny about themselves. So you want to make sure you support this brother. I will be back, you guys. This is all Internet Month, you guys. So 4 weeks straight, I'm giving you some hitters that have been blazing social media. Twin of Dime is coming through, you guys, out of Atlanta. Kaylee Comedy is coming through, you guys. So some of these people who have been keeping us laughing during the whole pandemic, who've been busting us just all this entire time, this is their time to shine this month on Sex Talk with T Graye. I started it off with Mo Funny. After Mo Funny, I got Mo Funny motherfuckers coming who have been just ripping it on everywhere social media. So I will see you all next Tuesday right here, WEMS Radio with Sex Talk with T. Graye. Bye bye.
Peace, y'all.